Our program has been serving Marion County since 1973. Back in those days, there were 5 women that we're told were sitting on a porch somewhere, and they decided they wanted to do something to help survivors of rape in the community. And so they decided to start a hotline. And so they had a phone that they passed between them, and they took calls that year, a few hundred calls that first year. But what they found was that the majority of their calls were actually about violence in the home, what we now know as domestic violence, but back then there wasn't even a name for it. And so over the years, we have grown to serve victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and human trafficking.
We know that even with over 20,000 contacts in the last 2 years, we are not meeting the total demand. The Center for Disease Control estimates that 1 in 3 women in Oregon have been victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking in their lifetime. And with 20,000 contacts, we're still not meeting everyone's needs. But in this center, we are able to expand what we're doing. We have room for teens to come in, and it's a great space. Teenagers in the community actually donated huge beanbag chairs for them to come in and enjoy the space. And then we're able to have multiple support groups going on in English and Spanish. We're able to do so many more things. The computer workstations, we never had the ability for folks to come in and be able to do those housing and employment searches that are so important for them to restart their lives. We have the 24-hour crisis line answered in English and Spanish, and we also use a language line so we can talk to folks in 140 different languages. We have support groups that go on. We actually are having 3 support groups that all go at the same time with free childcare for all of them, which is something we could never do before. So we're very excited about that. We have walk-in services. Folks can just come in and talk to us and get help and support from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. About 75% of our hotline and shelter services are provided by volunteers. So if folks are interested in that, we'd love to hear from them. And what they do is they provide all the same services that we do. They can answer the crisis line, they can meet one-on-one with people, they can help support them. But if they don't want to do crisis line, we also need volunteers to sort donations, to help us with data input. There's always something to be done here, and we love volunteers who come in and say, I have a couple of hours and I'd love to give them to you. It really makes a difference.
We hear all the time from individuals who say, my friend, my daughter, someone I know, I think there's violence in the relationship, I don't know what's going on, and I read on your website about these warning signs, or I read on this website about help that's available. One of the big things for survivors is to know that they're not alone. And so often a survivor will feel so isolated, and to reach out and know that someone's listening, someone cares, and even though it feels like it, they are not the only person going through this right now.